Hello, Palo Alto. Today is Friday, November 9th, 2020, and InFocus starts right now.
Embarcadero Road. Walk sign is on the crossing.
Welcome to InFocus. I'm Cody Millar. We hope you had an enjoyable Labor Day and got some well-deserved rest. Speaking of leisure activities, movie theaters, which have been severely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, are fighting hard to stay afloat. InFocus reporter Nikki Hall talked with a representative from NATO about what the details for reopening are across the nation.
Across the globe, movie theaters have been reopening, but have recently been struggling to get people to go to the movies. The National Association of Theater Owners, or NATO, and its members have been looking for ways to save the movie-going experience during the pandemic. Phil Contrino, Director of Media and Research, has been gathering, analyzing, and reporting data that supports NATO's many initiatives during the pandemic.
We're the National Association of Theater Owners. We represent movie theaters in all 50 states. And actually, the national part of our name is kind of misleading because we have members in close to 100 countries as well. But we're primarily a domestically focused organization. We represent everyone from the big chains to AMC, Cinemark, to single screen movie theaters in more rural areas.
NATO is constantly working with its members in many different areas to provide them with the support that they need.
You know, we talk to the studios on behalf of our members and really manage that relationship. We have a government relations arm, so there are various legislative issues that pop up that are of concern to our members, and we deal with them based on, again, how our members dictate we should react to them.
While the pandemic is still surging, NATO is trying to find a way to bring people back into movie theaters.
We've been pushing states to allow movie theaters to open again, and we've been working with our members to come up with the safety precautions that are good to have during, to operate successfully during a pandemic. We launched a campaign called Cinema Safe, the website cinemasafe.org. And it just outlines, the things that you would expect, social distancing in the auditorium, wearing masks, encouraging online ticketing. And we hear this constantly from customers who have gone and seen the precautions, that they feel really good about the steps that theaters are taking.
Among NATO's many other initiatives, protecting the theatrical window has been very important to its many members.
The theatrical window refers to the period of time between when a movie opens in theaters and when it's released in the home. That used to mean DVD, Blu-ray, everything like that. Now it means to purchase on digital or on a streaming service. And our members are pretty adamant that if that period of time shrinks too much, people will just simply wait it out and stay home and watch it at home. And that jeopardizes the business in a real substantial way.
NATO has been advocating for the government to give its thousands of members the financial support that they need.
It's also just telling the government that, we're an industry that has seen a sharp reduction in our revenue over these last 7 months. I mean, even theaters that are able to open are not seeing the same amount of money coming in, not even anywhere close to it, than they would have during, pre-pandemic, business operations. So like other industries, we need support from the government to get to the other side of this crisis.
Contrino is optimistic that people will start to miss the movie-going experience.
I think, with this pandemic, people take the movie theater experience for granted before this, and now they see what it's like when it's kind of gone away a little bit. I mean, yeah, you can still go to theaters, but there's not a lot of new movies to see, and they're being delayed. And people are realizing that it sucks, and I don't think anybody really wants to lose that. And I certainly don't.
NATO has taken many steps to ensure the safety of going to movie theaters and to save an industry that has been hit hard during the pandemic. For InFocus, I'm Nikki Bahal.
Thanks for that, Nikki. While films are in the homes of many Americans, One of America's favorite pastimes is baseball. InFocus reporter Blake Chase met with players to see what the major leagues are doing amidst the pandemic.
Back in July, after the MLB decided they'd postpone the start of the regular season, they released an announcement stating that the MLB season would start later in the month. For the first time in MLB history, due to the worldwide COVID-19 pandemic, there would be a 60-game season, which is the shortest in professional baseball history. Here is Chicago Cubs second baseman Nico Hoerner on his initial reaction after hearing there would be a season.
Yeah, it was great because, first when things got shut down, they told us 2 weeks and you're going to have your normal season just a little bit shorter than normal. And then once we started getting in 2 or 3 months without anything, people are getting pretty pessimistic. And there was a lot of people who kind of lost hope. So even though it was only 60 games and there were no fans, and it was still a huge positive just to have something at all. And
although the season was going to happen, there would be many things the game would be missing.
For me, I just missed after a big moment, the explosion in the crowd, or when you run out of the tunnel, out of the dugout, onto the field to start a game. That's just little special things like that just add to the fun of playing, interacting with fans before the game, things like that just weren't there anymore. So definitely won't take it for granted whenever we have it back.
Yet again, because of COVID-19, the MLB had to put in place special guidelines to protect the players and staff members of every team. The guidelines help keep the positive numbers very low.
Overall, I think there was everything we needed. We were tested every other day, and everything was clean everywhere we went. When we would go on the road to hotels, they would reserve a balcony or some kind of outdoor area for if guys did want to hang out to do something. And obviously it wasn't quite the normal season, but they did it as well as they could have.
Even with the fact that fans couldn't go to any games or team events, the MLB still had a successful season.
And, you're watching the World Series right now, and the 7th game of the NLCS got better ratings than any game in the finals, and NBA finals, I'm pretty sure. So there's still been positives in the MLB season, even though it's been a weird year.
For InFocus, I'm Blake Chase.
That does it for today's show. Be sure to check out our website, subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch previous content, follow us on Instagram to engage with our content, and Twitter for updates and breaking news. Until next time, I'm Cody Millar, and this has been InFocus.